So how do you win, though? Just
I think it has to do with
how won more holes.
What your score is on that hole, and if you beat out the person that you're matched up against on the other team. I think it's a head-to-head thing.
It sounds like you don't know what the fuck's going on with it.
I don't know. To be honest, I played it and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. You got to run to the hole."
What's going on, everybody? It's Comically Gaming, episode 72. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, 72.
Now Corey's not as happy as he was earlier. He was all smiles earlier. Now he's like, "What's up, Corey?"
There we go. We're all good.
Oh, you made me laugh there, Jeff. That hurts.
All right, Dirk's a little under the weather, so forgive him. Yeah, if he's suffering up there. How's everybody's weeks? Jeff, you kick it off this week. How's your week?
Oh man, it's been crazy, but I ended up playing a lot of everybody's golf and a lot of Destiny 2 with Dirk and Corey.
Oh yeah,
nice. Spent like almost all day yesterday playing Destiny for some reason. Gave up doing homework and I was just like, "Oh, I'll just play this and it's like, you have a plan to go from here across the room, and a day later it's a cat chasing a laser pointer all around the room because I'm like, oh, I'll just do this real quick and I'll do this. I'll get this mission done. And, man.
It's for sure.
What else?
The rabbit hole you can fall down. So how are you guys doing on Destiny? Let's take our Destiny 2 break here.
We are, I hit 272 at the end last night.
Nice.
Messing with stuff.
I'm at 268, but I'm getting help from Corey because this is the grind part that is very slow. Not getting a lot of new gear.
As far as getting help from Corey, just as far as what you should be doing?
Well, just ideas on how to get to increase. Because I basically played 8 hours worth over the last 2 days, roughly, and got maybe 3 points of light total. And I've been, like, modding gear. I've been selling it back, all the stuff, like upping everything as possible.
I mean, at this point, it's only worth playing 3 hours a week, and then even legendary engrams, you're not gonna get higher than your light.
Yeah,
that powerful.
It's just those call to arms take so long.
Oh, the crucibles, it only took like an hour.
Really?
It only took us an hour.
Long.
No, it was just because we were losing. That's why it took long.
That might
the only one we did really good at was that first capture the flag and hold the spots.
So
I think. Oh, I know why it felt long because we started at like 1.
Yeah. It was like 2:30 in the morning by the time we got done.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So I've been totally checked out of Destiny for a couple weeks now. You guys.
Yeah. You're like intense. You're making a point to not even play anymore, even if your friends are playing.
It's not true. It's not to make a point. I've just been busy.
I think it is.
I've just been busy. Well, to be honest, the point, if there's a point to be made, is that there's other games I'd rather play. Right? I mean, that's the point that is being made. But it's not like I'm not down with Destiny. I just got other shit to play right now. There's no time to play games. That's all.
We should make Nate watch like episode 68.
I know.
And he was so stoked and oh my god, it's gonna come out and we're gonna blah blah blah.
I know. Once I got through the story, I had a great time doing it, and I'm just not interested in doing the grind portion of it. I don't know why.
Bad.
Well, you're not even interested in playing with your friends.
I am. On my Sunday night games, I'm down with playing.
It's so brutal.
Whatever.
No, we don't play it on Sunday nights.
Oh, I know. I don't have other time. It comes down to time. Again, time management. So
I've had the same
better last night. We should have recorded what we said last night because that was more fun. Because he was calling you and texting you, and
It's in the middle of the movie at the time. So anyways, you guys, like, as far as Destiny goes, like, you're to that grind portion of the game. Kind of what Corey was saying. If it's anything like Destiny 1, it's if you're not doing like the specific things to upgrade, then you're just playing for fun. You know what I mean?
think that's
you're
what
not going to get light unless you
I
do
need to
those
just
specific
focus.
deals.
Right. I need to focus on my objectives. Get those done first, and then if there's other stuff I need to do after that, I'll do it.
And those come with. I mean, the only one that I didn't really like that it was time consuming was on that path for the Rat King when I had to go and get 50 precision kills with a scout rifle and 25 kills.
I heard you bitching about it like 15 times already while he was playing.
So and then if I can cut in, you talked about everybody goes golf. How you feeling on everybody's golf right now?
Oh, I'm fine with it.
I'm loving it.
I'm glad that I can pick it up and put it down.
It's love-hate, though. Let's get this, let's be honest. It's like it's a love-hate thing. It's like, I want to piss on my controller.
Yeah, Jeff's over here talking
back, I'm like,
about
just
fun.
one more.
That was a good conversation. That was a good conversation.
I enjoy it because I can pick it up where I'm at. So I'm in rank 5. I come home and can throw it on for 20 minutes and play 9 holes and kind of grind away at the advancing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then on the weekend, if I'm into it, I'll sit down and do that. And then all of a sudden I've been playing for 2 hours sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at this point, all the complaints about the slow stuff at the beginning are kind of in the rearview mirror. I think the only real complaint, I guess I got 2 complaints. Number one is that the online stuff, like, it's only fun to me what we're doing on the side. And that should be a part of the game.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take us to run our own league in there.
I'll talk about Turf War when I get to my
Okay.
week, because I did that.
Well, we can throw it in.
Don't talk about it now.
The other thing is that there's just not a lot of courses, right? I mean,
No.
it's weird how many
yet.
courses there are. And if they do have some kind of online roadmap, as far as I know, they haven't shared it. I went and Googled that and didn't find it anywhere, so I don't know what's up with the future.
It doesn't make sense why they're not releasing all this great stuff right away. It's like, what, they want you to play it to get all the way to max level, and then they just like, oh, here you go, here's fluff.
Well, I think it's 2 different games. Once you get to level 7, it becomes a different game.
So, elaborate.
So, it becomes about getting gems at that point.
And that's
the 2
called
ways
grinding.
Yeah, it's even a slower grind than Destiny, believe it or not. But you got 2 ways, basically, that you can get gems. You can go on the online course, do your course for the day, like to get a world ranking. And you can run around on that course, like your little character can move, and you find coins. And every once in a while, you'll come across like a ball or a hidden gem in a bush somewhere.
So it's like a scavenger hunt on a fucking golf course?
Yes, and you can use your golf cart to jet across it too. You can actually run onto people's courses as they're golfing.
I've done that a couple times. When you do that, are you playing the holes individually in between?
I'm just playing the selected special course for the day.
Okay.
That's the only one that I
In and that,
do.
it's wide open.
Yeah, because I've done that. I've gotten the gems and coins and stuff. I just never play the holes. I just run around the course and get that shit and dip out.
Yeah. I do the daily ranking just to see,
Okay.
They pitch you against 2 things, I think, all time, and they pitch you against the people that are playing for that day, I think.
Okay.
I don't know, just rivals, 2 daily rivals. I don't know what that's about. But then you can also get gems. Once you cross into 7, I think, you can play your tournaments, and you get, I think, a gem for every 9. Basically, it works out to you.
And gems you trade in to up your clubs
but you
and stuff,
need, like,
basically?
Yeah, you need 50 gems to get a custom set.
That's 25 courses. That's 25 rounds. If you get like a gem per 9 hole, that's 25 frickin' rounds.
Yes.
I mean, the
That's
PGA
good.
Tour.
Very
is not
astute
that
of you,
fucking
Jeff.
long.
Everybody's golf. Yeah, that's what you love. Everybody's golf. So, and then what were you saying? What were you gonna say about Turf War?
I actually dug it, man. It's like a. Have you played it? Has anybody else played it? What it is? I mean, I don't like
I
the fact
quit
that.
out.
Huh?
I played around and quit out.
Oh yeah. I don't like the fact that you can't play with your buds on one team.
See, that's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. But it does allow, like, so Vanessa and I were both playing. I could just hand off the controller to her for the next hole or whatever, like somebody in the room with you playing. But it basically sets it up where you got to run to each hole in between, and you have a certain time limit to do everything in.
Jeez.
Versus another team of people.
So, what's the Turf War portion of it? You win that hole or something, and it's yours.
I don't even know what I'm sure you get like clothes and gems or something. I don't even remember.
Usually, if I think of Turf War, I think of like Splatoon or something, where you're trying to take over a set amount of territory or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Can they not play that hole if you win the hole? Can the other team not play it or something?
I only played it once, so it's not very obvious what happens when you play it. You know, I mean, we had to kind of guess like where to go. We actually played like 2 holes or 1 hole twice, which counted. I don't know why, but I would like to play it some more and see how it exactly it works. I know we won whatever team I was on, but I don't even remember what we got for it.
Interesting.
So how do you win though? Just
I think it has to do with
won more holes.
What your score is on that hole. And if you beat out the person that you're matched up against on the other team. I think it's a head-to-head thing.
It sounds like you don't know what the fuck's going on with it.
I know. To be honest. I played it and I was like, oh, this is cool. You got to run to the hole. But the details I did not figure out. And it's probably going to take me like 2 or 3 more times because it's that confusing.
That's cool. I'm dying checking that out. At this point, though, until I hit rank 7, it's just dumb for me to do anything else besides get on there and play my tournament.
That's a 7. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jeff, back to you. Anything else? Your week?
No, because all I did was play Destiny a lot and everybody's golf. I'm just watching premiere shows. I've been watching Gotham. I like that show, Gotham.
Oh.
Yeah. Are they back now? Is the season back? I watched a little bit.
Yeah, it's back. Yep, it's back, and they're starting to get Bruce Wayne into his calling more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he still 10 or whatever?
I don't know. He's like probably 13-ish. It's kind of hard to say with the passage of time. Sure. No, because he's 13 because they said, it's been 3 years since my parents were killed. So I think he was 10 when his parents were killed.
Okay.
Around that age. So, yeah, but I like the character progression they do for the main villains. I like how they do that.
Yeah, that's what that show seems to be all about, is the villains, huh?
It seems like it, yeah, because they introduce a new one. This, and Gordon's weird though, because just how it's up and down but they introduce a new villain this starting off this last 2 seasons. I won't spoil it, but
don't spoil it.
So it's pretty good. That was about it.
Cool.
Huh?
Cool.
The kid from Shameless. What? Redhead.
I don't know.
Corey, how's your
what?
You're up.
That makes me laugh.
My week was pretty good. Played some Destiny 2, got up to 300. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. What's the cap? 310?
350.
305. 305 is the cap. 300 is the actual cap, but with the mods that add 5, you can get up to 305. If you have all your gear at 300 and you have a legendary mod on each one, it'll boost you up to 305.
Okay.
So
Congrats.
So pretty much there.
Congrats.
Thanks. Not totally, but I think Jeff has 3 characters that are 300 now, but
I buzzsawed through that.
Yeah, that's all he plays. But I beat Nier.
That's right.
Highlight. Yeah.
What can you say that's not story spoilers?
I almost got it the other day, but convinced me.
Should have. Okay. That game is really fucking awesome. I mean, after the first playthrough or whatever, I was really hyped about it and really liked everything about it, just the gameplay and the characters and everything. But after playing all the playthroughs, it's unlike anything I've ever done. I mean, it just the 3 different playthrough thing is really awesome. It changes every time. You have to beat the game basically 3 times to actually beat it.
So, can you say anything about the changes without spoiling stuff? Like, that's all I've heard from everybody is it changes every time you play through, and I have no idea how. Like, should I just wait and play it myself, or is there anything more that you can say that's not going to ruin it for me when I finally when I boot it up for round 2 and round 3?
I don't think I should say anything about it. No.
Right. Cool.
That was pretty good. I thought his video froze on him.
You really don't want to know. I mean, because I had no idea, and I'm glad I didn't.
Okay.
Because I mean, even if I were to tell you like the basic differences, I didn't know them, and I was just glad that I didn't know them.
Sure.
So I wouldn't tell them. But just really great. I mean, the characters are awesome. The chicks are hot. The story is really good. And just the way it progresses through all the playthroughs are awesome. Everything about it, and then the ending was this thing that happens in the end, like. Completely blew my mind. I mean, I was sitting there in shock afterwards, and I was like, "Holy shit! That has never happened to me in a video game ever before in my life." I mean, it was just really, really crazy.
That's the high praise. That's what makes me want to start playing right now.
It's yeah. I mean, it's that game went. I mean, it always looked cool when I played the demo. I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. And then, after beating it, it became one of my favorites of all time. Like I told you, I give it 10 out of 10. But I think it's probably number 3 of my favorite games of all time.
Wow.
It's really, really good. Everything about it, the story, the characters, just the way that it's unlike anything else. The gameplay is awesome. It's everything about it is really cool. I think it's, but definitely my favorite game of the year so far. And I played a lot of games this year, so
yeah.
So really, really good.
Cool.
Play Nier.
I can't wait to play it.
Yeah,
we can do spoiler cast.
Yeah, it's really hard to talk about without spoilers because everything in it is real spoilery. But the spoilers are what make it so cool.
Right.
So yeah, I did that. Started playing Dishonored. Pretty cool so far.
Does it feel like a last gen game, or does it?
It does.
Up?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. It feels like
feels like a last gen game.
That's what I compared it to a lot when I played it.
Like BioShock?
Yeah.
It definitely feels like I'm playing an old game compared to all the games I've been playing recently. But I only played like an hour of it. It was all right so far. My buddy at work always says to play it with stealth, and so I've been trying to play it stealthily, and it's really pretty easy as far as stealth goes. Like a guard should see me if he doesn't, and I can just kind of go out and take him out. So I don't know if it gets more tough to take people out, or what happens that makes everybody like it so much. But I really wasn't that impressed with the first hour. But so yeah, I did that. I read Black Magic number 8. It was really good.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty awesome, right?
Yes, it's getting the big picture stuff is kind of coming more into focus.
Yeah, the ending was weird.
Yes.
I don't even really know what happened there. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was really good.
We'll have to talk about that after.
Yeah, for sure. And then I read All the Bitch Planets. That's our comic book club this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. It's really, really good. I'm definitely digging it. And then read some more Lost Stars, and then I watched the Inhumans premiere. So,
And?
I'm sorry.
It sucked. It was not good.
First 5 minutes sucked.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what Jeff said, and they really did suck. I mean, like, the first 5 minutes was like an action scene in the woods with like people with guns and stuff, and like the characters are like, oh, like it just looks so cheesy. I mean, the whole thing, and then just the whole thing. It's an hour and a fucking half, and it's just boring. And I mean, it's not. There was nothing where I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? I'm like, is this fucking over yet? And then it took me 3 separate nights to watch the first episode. That's how much I didn't care about it. Like after a half hour, I was like, okay, I'm done with this for tonight. I'll catch the rest tomorrow. And then even yesterday, I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to finish this tomorrow because I'm done with it tonight. So I just watched the rest of it today. I really. I'm gonna probably watch the next episode and see if it maybe gets better, but I really don't want to. It sucked.
I really don't want to. Don't make me.
It was not good. I mean, I don't. Black Bolt's stupid. There's sign language, and I mean the dog looks cheesy. All the fight scenes are really hokey, and I mean it's just. Not and it's boring. I mean, it's just not good.
And boring.
So yeah. That's. But oh yeah, everybody's golf came tied for second this week with Dirk.
Yeah.
You missed your opportunity there.
Yep.
It knocked me out of my third place.
Yeah, I was not playing good. My practice round was great, and then Par City and the.
I had a terrible round.
I fucking hit the water twice. I was pissed.
So, did you watch Gifted?
That's not out yet. It's out tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Is it tomorrow? I thought it was tonight.
No, Monday.
Okay, my bad.
Or reminds me I have to record it.
My bad. All right, Dirk.
I'm gonna watch that though. So, yeah.
Dirk.
Sweet.
You drop on us there? You okay?
No, I'm good. Let's see. I spent a lot of time on D&D actually this week.
No way.
Yeah. Imagine that. So Roll20 updated their character sheets to the OGL's got. I guess it's the 2.0 dropped. And some of the capability of that is that, so if you are carrying an item, you can just pull it up in the compendium in Roll20, drag and drop it into your equipment area, and it won't allow you to do it if you have like maxed out weight.
Awesome.
So it calculates all that stuff. It auto-populates your weapons from your weapons area to your equipment area, just automatically. Your spells, I'm sure Aramil, Jancina, you'll love that. You can just drag and drop your spells as you pick them.
Yep, I like that.
Really?
Sheet.
You don't have to type them in or anything?
Don't have to type them in. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
And it's got all the info for, the attack damage and all that stuff. Anyway.
At higher level.
Yes. I bought Dishonored 2, Xenoverse 2, and Last Guardian, but I haven't touched any of them. I played like probably 5 minutes of Xenoverse, but not enough to even get to a fight.
Right.
Played a shitload of Destiny.
That's a good little pile, though. That's a good day.
Yeah, it was that GameStop sale. That was 2 pre-owns. You get an extra one free.
Nice.
So I had to toss it. They didn't have a pre-owned copy of Pillars of Eternity, and that's what I went there for. So I had to choose. I had to be like, well, do I get Pillars? Or do I get these 3? And I had to. I'm a bargain gamer, so I had to do the 3.
Yeah, totally. We all.
Lots of Destiny, lots of everybody's golf. As you saw on the shaky footage, my wife got an albatross hole-in-one, which is
That was crazy, dude.
pretty nuts.
Yeah.
We started fishing in that game too, which I thought was going to be. It is kind of lame, but it's one of those activities that you just kind of screw around with at first, and then you actually start getting into it. It's very similar to the Final Fantasy fishing.
Yeah, I liked it. What I did of it, which was just like 10 rounds of bait practice in the home area or whatever, I actually enjoyed it. It's just like, okay, until I'm rank 7, this is taking away from me ranking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
You can fish in near too.
Oh, really? It seems to be a hot activity in the.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Final Fantasy fishing.
Let's see. I think still reading Ready Player One, Red Bitch Planet. Loved Bitch Planet. It's great. We'll get to it, but I think that's about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, so I had a 5-day weekend. I had some vacation days to kill.
That's
I also
awesome.
I'm working on my house here in my spare time, and that's kind of what I planned on doing with all these 5 days. But I got to day 1, and I was just like, fuck it. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sit my ass on the couch and play video games all damn day for one of these days.
Destiny.
And I'm not even going to, I started, picking up my phone and going to Twitter to do, stuff for our channel and stuff. And I was like, nope, that's work too. Today is nothing but games and the couch and me. And I started playing Persona 5 again, and holy crap! So I was halfway through this palace, and my goal was to beat that palace so that I can move on and play some different games. I want to stop it, I want to play that game in chapters because it's so long. And I was halfway through, and it probably took me 7-8 hours to play the back half of that thing.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
But I tell you what, I fucking loved it, every minute of it. That game is so great, and just I spaced out to where I'd had days off. I got a job now. I work at the noodle shop, and me and my homies go to see movies.
You gotta work at the florist.
The florist? Oh, I like the noodle shop though. I won the challenge where you eat the big burgers at the burger joint. I won the challenge because I got guts now, and
I'm the world champion, actually.
Nice. And I'm totally have decided 100% that I'm not going after any of these high school girls, that it's the punk rock doctor. She's going to be my woman by the end of this game, for sure.
Nice.
And she does, well, I won't spoil it. Her storyline, it's insane. Everything about that game's story is insane, that it's actually a game. I we'll have to do spoiler cast on it someday, because it's just, it blows my mind, the stuff that they get away with.
She was who I went for, and I didn't get her.
No.
I was, she turned me down in the end.
Wow.
So,
really?
So I ended up going with all the chicks, but
in Persona 4, I had 2 girlfriends, and then when Valentine's Day came, I had to go out with one of them, and then it had a scene of the other one crying by herself on a bench someplace, and I was I felt so bad. I said, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
Guilty.
Yeah, it got to me for sure. So anyways, I just can't say enough about Persona. Definitely, Persona for me so far is my game of the year, hands down, even though I haven't beat it and won't until 2020 or something like that. Everybody's Golf. We talked that up and down. The Escapist 2, tried to play that more with my son, and he just trolled me, and I still haven't escaped that prison. I think I'm done playing that forever. And then what I did put a couple hours into new this week is Hellblade. So Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Wow, that game, incredible on a bunch of levels. The first of all, her face, for sure, is the greatest video game face ever. It looks real, and it doesn't seem to have the Uncanny Valley stuff going on. Like,
what are they doing in it to make it that way?
I don't know, Dirk. I can't describe it.
I feel like her eyes are a little weird though.
Sometimes, but I feel like she's just like looking around for the different voices and stuff. But you're right, her eyes are a little bit weird. But I feel like that's her being crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't think it.
Yeah,
here's what engine.
It's like there's all kinds of like apparently I got to look into it further or play more of the game. But her background, just based on some of the symbology and like. And what's going on seems to be Celtic, but she's clearly in Norse hell, and so I'm not sure what's going on with that yet. But it's all cool, and there's all these little stones that you can go to get history lessons about Norse hell, which is cool.
Wow.
And it really is blowing me away so far. And the one thing I'd say is that they've played up, and we talked about this even when the game was new because other people were talking about it, is that they play up the mental health aspect of it. And basically it says right at the beginning, like before you even see the director's name, you see like the mental health advisor or whatnot for it. I think that's bullshit. Like,
So do I.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to have whatever the technical term is for somebody who hears voices.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Is it schizophrenia?
I think
it's schizophrenia.
I didn't think. I thought it was different than that. But
no, it's schizo.
I'm sure people who have.
I don't think it's like that.
It's not like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's not like this at all. And for her, but that being said,
the voices are cool.
It's cool as hell. Yeah, right. She's constantly has like 10 different people who are conflicting with each other about observing her. And the narrator of the game is one of the voices that's in her head. And just as it goes on, like I'm in the first hour, like I met somebody new who was kind of like a spirit or something. I can't really tell, but he became another voice in her head. And really cool, that stuff. And then there's also a few things that they do with lighting and stuff that is probably the closest in a game that I've ever seen visual wise that made me feel like, okay, this is maybe what one of my nightmares has looked like from just like what they do with the environment and stuff like that. So I gotta say, like I'm about an hour and a half into it. Looked it up. It looks like it takes about 7 hours, 8 hours to beat. It is a cheaper game or whatnot, but blowing me away so far. So I can't wait to play more of that. Now that I'm through my Persona chapter, that's what's dead center on my single player plate right now until I get through it. So yeah, I'll talk more about that. Read a bunch of comics this week, a bunch. So Bitch Planet finished up 9 and 10. The Realm, Corey talked about last week. Read that. Awesome stuff. I can't recommend
The Realm?
enough.
Oh, yeah.
You don't read it, Dick?
I haven't read it yet, but I remember.
Do so. The Walking Dead 171, great. Really great. And first time I've seen, like, I don't know if this is just in comics or anything, where they introduce a character who instantly I love. So much personality to this new character that they introduced. It's incredible what they did in one comic to kind of bump up this character. So yeah, stoked about that. Star Wars number 36. Anybody read this guy yet?
No,
I haven't gotten to it.
I have
yet,
it downloaded.
It's great.
I know.
It's
I have it.
I
have it.
First Star Wars in a long time where I've read it and thought, wow, that's fucking great. Like, really good. So I can't wait to talk to you guys about that. Black Magic number 8. Jessica Jones number 12. Anybody read that?
No.
No? Okay, so gotta read that too.
I know.
It continues to be great also.
I slept on my comics this week.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna hit it this week.
And then I was just having so much fun reading good comics that I said, you know what? I took Corey's advice. I'm going to take Dirk's advice too. I started the all new Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 1 and 2. Also really good. I do have to say, like, when I started, I was reading Bitch Planet, The Realm, and The Walking Dead, and I read those 3 books, and I said, "Fuck, I'm never going to read a Marvel book again in my life." And then, and then on the back half of this week, though, the Star Wars, Jessica Jones, and Guardians of the Galaxy were all really good. So I got to say, we talk a lot of trash about Marvel and stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there's still some good stuff out there, and but it just sucks that you got to kind of know where to find it. And I also, the one thing that I got to say about all these Image books that I've been reading, I think in this medium, it's insane that they break up the authors and artists and change authors and all this different stuff. Like those Image books are people's vision.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Forever. You know what I mean? From start to finish, and it just is so much better that way. Like, you know, the Marvel stuff. It's like you guys have shown me the good Marvel stuff nowadays, and I appreciate that. But it's for anybody else who didn't have friends like this and you just wanted to go pick up something off the shelf, there's like 90% garbage out there, and it's, you know, I don't know.
Oh, I read Legacy too, #1.
Oh, okay.
Forgot to
That's our
which is
book for next week.
Book club. Yep, or 2 weeks from now. So last thing, not last thing, sorry. I also took Dirk's advice. I listened to Zola Jesus, and I gotta say, like, I really pride myself on when somebody says, "What kind of music do you like?" I really say everything. I mean, really almost everything. It used to be everything except country and opera, but now I've even listened to some countries that I kind of like. Opera's still kind of maybe out there, but I gotta say, didn't really like Zola Jesus. I think maybe that kind of soft goth, like almost like
I don't.
Bjork.
I'll say this:
style.
I don't like the slower tracks, but the more intense stuff is what I gravitate towards on the album. But
yeah, I kind of had the feeling. Never mind, I can't even talk about that on the show. I might be able to enjoy it in a certain frame of mind. But in general, just throwing it on, like I need rock. I need a little bit more backbone to my music, to be honest. Like, but anyways, I tried, gave it a shot. So the last thing is the past 2 nights watched a couple more. Me and the wife been watching a lot of horror flicks, and the past 2 nights watched another couple ones that were both pretty good. The first one is called Awakening. It's a film from 2011 starring 7-year-old Bran, basically, whatever that actor's name is, and kind of traditional ghost story. Not really even that scary, but just kind of a cool story. Lady's a ghost hunter, basically, back right after World War II, I believe, and goes to a boys' school where they've been seeing a ghost. And anyway, so yeah, I would recommend it for people who like horror movies.
Nice.
And then the other one last night, which I liked way more, not to compare the two, but this movie was great. It's called The Wailing. It's on Netflix right now. It came out last year. It's 2016. It's from a director in South Korea.
Okay.
It's all,
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
It's subtitled. The whole movie's subtitled, and man, it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. Like the characters were great. The directing, like, was great. I was really kind of blown away. It kind of took me back. It's like I couldn't, before I kind of researched anything on it and just watching it baseline, I couldn't really base what time frame the film was made because it was kind of such a mix of like directing styles and whatnot. But yeah, definitely. I don't even know how to explain it without spoiling stuff. It is supernatural suspense horror. These small kind of village towns in South Korea coming under attack, and I'll leave it at that sort of thing. It's gruesome stuff. There is a lot of gruesome stuff going on for sure. Not kind of on camera, but some of the scenes of post-death stuff is like, whoa, crazy. But yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. It was so good. The actors were so good. The directing was so good, and it was one of those movies where when it was over, me and the wife both jumped on our phone and like just did research for like an hour, like trying to take different people's kind of perspectives on what things meant about it and certain characters and stuff. So I can't recommend it enough.
Hung Jin Na is the director.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, and I guess Na is a first name. They say it backwards there, I guess. I don't know. From all the different YouTube videos and stuff that I watched, he's got a couple other movies that people recommend that aren't horror movies, also. But
cool.
but yeah, it's on Netflix. It's almost 3 hours too. But I never felt like I never felt like it was dragging. You know what I mean? Like, and whenever we took a break to get a drink or go to the bathroom or something like that, like I wanted to get right back to it. So yeah, The Wailing. Can't recommend it enough.
Wailing.
Like whaling.
Nice.
Not whaling where you kill whales.
Right.
WAIL. All
I
right, guys. That's the week.
I forgot real quick.
go.
I picked up that Riggs VR. I haven't played it yet, but I was playing some VR games also.
Okay.
Call of Duty has Infinite War VR game. It's a lot of fun.
Really? What's it like?
It's futuristic spaceships in space battle.
Really?
Ah.
Call of Duty? It's like you're in a cockpit?
Yep, you're in a cockpit. You can see the guy sitting there. You can see his hands move when you're turning and throttling up.
Dang.
When you use missiles, a reticle shows up, and you just look at you can target 3, so you look at them and line it, and just lock on the 3 targets and release the button and shoots missiles at them. And
That's cool.
Jeff, do they have any VR stuff with like prop controllers or anything? You know what I'm saying? Like a gun or something?
Yes.
Yeah, Farpoint.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do.
Yes.
All right.
It's the only one, but I don't know. All the ones I played, it's more of where you're looking. It's kind of like Blue Thunder, where you look at shoots.
Right. The reason I ask is I might be able to convince the lady to get in on that. She was going crazy at the arcade on the shooting games and asked me about it. So I know, but that's my best way in.
Right?
It's expensive. And you got to play at least 20 minutes a day for 3 weeks to not get motion sickness.
And if it's Christmas, I got to start working on that, project now. So
I also played. I also did this like Air Force Special Ops where you have to parachute out of the back of a plane.
Whoa!
And it was supposed to like turn the controller to rotate your body, and I couldn't get it to work. And so every time it abort the mission, I was like 3 times, I'm like, "Fuck this!" And I just uninstalled the game.
Funny.
But yeah, that was it. I will play Riggs, probably not this week because I'll be out.
Sure.
And I want to lug my VR headset in the airport.
Totally. All right, cool.
Okay,
Sweet.
that's it. I'm good.
All right, on to our news of the week. We're doing kind of a new format now. Instead of splitting it up, Star Wars, video games, comics, we're all kind of throwing topics in throughout the week, and then we're voting on our top 5 news items of the week to talk about. Trying to bring the show down so you can actually listen to it in one sitting and not have to sit through 2 hours of us talking.
More.
Yeah, top 5 news items of the week. We'll start off with number 5. Dirk, you want to take it?
Yes. So Amazon released the news that they are greenlighting 3 shows. I don't know. I think Ringworld is one of them. I don't know the 3rd show because all I cared about was Lazarus.
Yeah.
So I'm finally getting. I mean, I had mentioned after reading it that it is one of those books, that would not be expensive to make, and you could still get the story across in a powerful way. And it's a story that is very apt for the times, I'll say. And it's Greg Rucka, who's amazing. So
it's Rucka, okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
and it's Kirkman's new part of the new deal with Amazon, right?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I guess it's Kirkman's deal.
Well, yeah, didn't Skybound and Kirkman sign that deal with Amazon? Didn't we cover that in the show?
Yeah, they kind of broke up with AMC Like
Yeah.
he's suing them about it. They're still
okay.
doing
Yeah, I
what they're
didn't
on,
realize.
but
Yeah.
Because he's a partner at Image, right? He's one of 5, I think.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
CEO.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
CEO, but he's also, I guess, an acting partner. It's him and 4 of the other guys, I guess, that created the company. I was just reading, but yeah, he's the head honcho, I guess. So yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, Lazarus is one of my favorite books. To get
So do you
show.
have Amazon Prime?
Yes, thankfully I do.
So tell me, I honestly never even heard of Lazarus. Is it finished? Is it something I could go buy the whole collection?
Oh
right
man,
now,
I've talked about.
Yeah,
this
no,
book.
But besides that, I haven't.
Oh, you
know
mean
what
just
I mean?
in the world
it's
itself?
Not a part of my it's
Right.
not a part of my history.
Yes, you can get caught. I want to say there's like 4 volumes out.
And it's done.
What's it about?
No, not done. It's ongoing.
It's ongoing. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's ongoing. It has to do with corporations being the new seat of power instead of governments or.
There you are.
Yeah, so it's basically corporations take over as being in control of the world and drawing the political lines according to corporate, directives and families being in power in those corporations. And it centers around a Lazarus, which is each family has like a super warrior that represents the family, a super soldier, if you will. They're called Lazari, and this one, it features in on a female Lazari. That's what the series is about. It's really, really, I think, one of the best Image books out. So I'm glad to see that's coming in show form. I think it's going to be, if they do it right, and it looks like Amazon can put some good product out. I think they've already gotten several Emmy nominations and wins or whatever. I think they could do really well with it. I'm hoping. So.
Yeah, the Amazon
Nice.
doing Good Omens. They got the Modern World stuff. Like clearly, Amazon
Transparent too.
They're aiming at us. Right?
Oh yeah,
like,
for these, yeah.
Like
for
I feel
sure.
like right now there's not enough for me to jump on there, but I think like a year from now there's going to be like 10 shows that I really want to watch on there.
And if they're looking at the Netflix stuff, they're like, we could do this so much better.
Right.
Oh, they'll bury it if they get the it doesn't have the market that obviously Marvel commands.
The recognition, yeah.
Yeah, but they have a chance to at least take a good piece of that pie.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll see.
For sure.
Next up,
Sure.
Battlefront 2 trailer.
Looks pretty sick.
Yeah, it does. I just
Dude.
watched it.
And I've been holding on the fence about pre-ordering it or buying it. And every time I watch a new trailer, I'm like, dude. Because I know that the first-person shooter portion of the battles are going to frustrate me to no end because they're huge and campers and
The PvP.
yeah, the PvP side. But I want to see the story. I want to do the story.
Yeah, it looks just like Battlefield as far as the way they're going with the PvP, with the loadouts and everything.
Yeah.
So my complaint still though is that like that we're all talking about the one that's like narrated by John Boyega.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And he basically goes through different classes now, and then it looks like 15 different environments and stuff like that. Even makes, again, I keep on saying that this game is making the prequels look cool, and nothing has ever done that before.
Right.
My kind of complaint or concern is that, to me, the first game, I probably put 20 or 30 hours into it, and it just doesn't have like the player progression that something like Destiny has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just playing it because it's Star Wars and it looks cool, but I didn't really have an investment in my character the way that Destiny does. And it did seem pretty clear from that trailer that they're not changing that. You know what I mean? That
They're
was
not.
the highlight of it. You know.
Their main
Yeah.
draw is the full large battle maps, 40 players.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, but give me some loot that's like customizable that I put on my character and has a real effect on things, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what's going to keep me coming back, and they're not doing that. So I'm like you,
Yeah.
Jeff. I agree. Like, we're going to get this because my kids love the first one so much for sure. No matter what, I'll have it by the time Christmas comes. But I'm in it for the single player story. You know what I mean? That's I'll play
Yeah.
through that and then put a few hours into the multiplayer and see how it goes.
well,
Yeah.
if you pre-order the beta opens the this Wednesday, so tomorrow. And so for pre-order, beta opens, and then on the 6th, which is Friday, it's open beta weekend.
Yeah.
So
So I
beta
check it
weekend,
out.
even if you don't pre-order, open beta weekend starting Friday through the
Okay.
weekend, most likely.
I guess we'll be playing that then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I hate the character progression, and just like Battlefield. I mean, I don't know. I put quite a few hours into that, and I think I'm still using the first fucking 2 guns that you start with. It's so hard to get shit. No, it looks like this is going the same.
I'm at
path.
level. I hit level cap on it finally. I got lucky on it.
In the first one?
Yeah, from
Oh,
space
that's cool.
combat though. A lot of space combat.
Right.
That's all I
Okay.
do. A-wings and TIE interceptors.
So you've got like alien heads and stuff?
If I wanted to spend my credits on that stupid crap, yeah,
Oh,
no.
man, I'm dying to have I'm dying to be named Numb. For sure.
Yeah. But so on the more exciting video games, Last of Us 2.
I
Totally
played the
stoked.
first one.
What did you say?
I don't think I've played the first one yet.
Oh my God,
I've been
that's-
trying to get it.
You
It was
gotta
on
get it.
sale last week.
$10. Yeah.
Huh?
$10.
It was on sale last week.
I didn't have money
The
last
PS4 one,
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
the remastered. Or-
Yes.
I have a wife that spends all my money before I can spend it.
It was less than $10.
It's a must play. Even at $20, it's
It's a must play. Like on a 1 to 10 cigarettes. How many cigarettes are we
10.
talking?
What?
Yeah.
10. That's my
It's-
number 2 favorite game of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It goes The Witcher,
Oh yeah.
Last of Us.
Real, real quick before you
Well,
get into the
Uncharted.
poster, what brings you like? What makes it number 2 for you?
The story.
Story.
Yeah, so
Okay.
to me, Dirk, it's the greatest linear story in all of video games. For sure.
Yeah.
And it's really it's totally tight all the way through. You by the end of it, like you were so invested in those characters
Oh
that,
yeah.
that the shit that goes
Brutal.
down is nuts.
Yes.
And the it's just it's like, you know, I literally I say this a lot, but I'm into games for story. Most games have shitty stories. This is the best example of a to B storyline in a game
Right.
that's done right. It's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
There's no complaint that I have when I walk out of it for the story, anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super good. And to be honest, so I haven't played Uncharted 4 yet. Like, I feel like the Uncharted's are like 12 steps down from The
Yeah.
Last of Us. Like,
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
The Last of Us is just so good. It really.
Yeah, they don't even come close.
Well,
I mean,
the impression I get is that it's like a very heartbreaking sort of tugs at the strings
Heartstrings.
sort of story.
kind of not
Is that
really.
correct?
No,
No?
not
I
really.
mean,
That's just the first impression I got from playing it.
What?
it's post-apocalypse.
Emotional
Not happy.
investment sort of story.
There is a strong emotional investment for sure, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But it's not like Bambi dies at the end or something.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what
Bambi
the stuff that
dies.
happens is a cool
It's
original
super
story.
emotional.
Yeah, super
I mean,
emotional. I cried a couple
That's
times.
what I mean.
same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, it was Outbreak Day. They showed some new merch, a poster with somebody holding a hammer,
Mm-hmm.
a shirt, and a PS4 theme with the Firefly symbol. Basically, just to remind us that it's coming. And
So, did you see last year's poster?
no.
So, last year's poster was a girl's hand holding a knife. This year's poster is a man's hand holding a hammer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then there was also, if you look at it from a distance, you can see in the flames that are in the poster, there's a wolf's head in the lighting of it. You kind of don't see it at first glance, and nobody really knows. There's nothing. It's not like a firefly or whatever. That was the name of the people in the first game or whatever. So nobody really knows what's up with the wolf, sort of thing. But yeah, just got me stoked. Just I'm ready.
Seeing it, yeah.
Just to mention, yeah, it's got me stoked too. So yeah, then on to some comic book shit again. Warner Brothers talking about the DC, the cinematic universe. It's going, they're de-emphasizing it. They're no longer after Justice League. They're no longer trying to really tie the films together anymore, trying to copy Marvel. They're all basically saying they're all going to have their own stories. They're giving up because they suck. But I guess they said, I mean, there still is a DC film universe or whatever, but they're not trying to really tie them together. They're all technically still in the same universe, but there's no longer going to be an overarching story to them, and they're not
the
tying
Joker
them together.
thing now. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
The Joker
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now
Actually, I read the Joker movie is going to be separate altogether, not even in the same universe. But but all the other stuff, they're basically they're not, all these other films, they've been trying to work them up to bring them together for the Justice League, and they're trying to copy Marvel and do that, and they're done with that, basically, is what they said after Justice League. So it's you're saying it's like it's going to be a universe, but with not anything continuity-wise like connected to it. Yeah, no Infinity Stones. They're not going to be crossing over doing in each other's movies and stuff, and like that. They will still be in the same universe. They'll exist, but their movies from this point are going to have their own stories, and
that's probably best for them. Don't try to compete with a model that you can't hang with.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm of two minds of it. I feel like if they could have done it right, then it would be cool.
But they can't.
They've proven that they can't. Yeah. So this Joker movie sounds cool. The Batgirl movie sounds cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm down with them. And also it would be cool to have each director like be able to set their own tone and whatnot. Like I'm sure you hop on board with Marvel and they lock you in a room with 50 people who say, okay, this is the deal, this is how you have to do it. You know what I mean? Like I bet you they'll be able to have more kind of freedom for the individual
artistic
movies.
freedom.
Yeah. Right.
Get some Vertigo stuff out.
Sure.
Sweet.
So yeah. And final news, our number one item, Red Dead 2. Got a trailer.
Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
It hit. What do you guys think?
It's awesome.
It looks good. Yeah.
So I think you're playing pure villain this time around. It seems like
that is fantastic.
Basically, just the was it John Marston was the first one?
Yep.
He was kind of torn between good and bad. Looks like you're all bad this time around, and looks awesome. It's kind of hard to see the gameplay. Not much gameplay.
Just cinematics.
Really, what I want to see.
Also, it's cool that it's like a comic book game, sort of, in like nobody can get a comic book game right.
Yeah.
Much like that, nobody can get a Western game right. I don't even know of any that are.
Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption. Well, first one was.
Well,
great.
I think there's some old.
Did you play the first one?
Yeah.
That was awesome, right?
Yes. No, I'm saying they stand alone.
Right.
In that.
True. Yeah.
The Red Dead. Yeah. They're the only ones that can pull it off. I think the only one that I've heard of was beyond that was like Juarez, something with Juarez in the title.
The Call of Juarez?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. 2 or
There was
3.
another one that came out during that time. I picked up a bootleg copy in Singapore called Gun, and
Gun, right? I remember that.
it wasn't. It's actually sitting on my shelf over here, but
Yeah.
it did not compare to Red Dead Redemption.
Right.
It was.
Yeah, because they can do it right. They apply that GTA model to it.
Yep.
You know, and
Well, GTA was made for just going around in boxer shorts and killing hookers.
Right, right. This is a little bit more serious, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there was a little bit of gameplay in there. Like, there was a couple scenes of him like riding a horse through the country with the camera right behind him. Like, it looked like that was real gameplay and whatnot. Like,
not the bow and arrow.
yeah, like I thought it definitely looked impressive for sure. And to me, like, the only thing I didn't like about the first one is that the Grand Theft Auto mechanics for shooting suck and always have. And that first game still had the same kind of shooting mechanics, and God, I just wish they'd change that. I don't know why they can't. And I'm just afraid that this is like the GTA 5 engine on speed, which still had that same shooting mechanics. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, why not?
Just basically let go and release the aim button and lock on different guys.
Yeah, right. Like, pay
lock and
somebody,
shoot.
buy some people off of Bungie or whatever, and get real shooting mechanics in your game. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
Yeah, Tomb Raiders, and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tomb Raider even. Yeah, right. Or Uncharted.
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
You know, like those are all much more. They just feel better. The gunplay in them. You know, so.
Yeah.
I wish. Hopefully they do make a major change, but I'm not holding my breath.
That's You know
Yeah.
what? That's totally what it is. I always search for what my issue was with GTA 5. As much as I love like huge sections of it, I could not figure out what it was that was off, and it's the fucking mechanics.
The gun mechanics are off.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could get Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed and then Bungie with the gun mechanics and then just the ability of Rockstar to tell a story, you would have an awesome video game.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
Because Ubisoft, you can't open the fucking chest to save your life. You got to jump around it 300 times and jump on it and get that right.
Yeah. I think GTA's strength is in their, for lack of a better word, just
raw.
I guess style.
Yeah, they're raw style for video games.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
All right.
sure.
For sure.
That's it. That's the news of the week.
News of the week.
So, wanted to announce we're going to do a little contest here. We're going to give away some money. If you have a PlayStation, we're just going to start with PlayStation. We might mix this up in the future, but we're going to give away a $20 PlayStation gift card. Again, this is just kind of a little trial for us. Basically, what you need to do, I know not big money, $20, but this will also probably be the best odds of any contest you've ever been in your life if you get in and actually enter this bad boy. So what you need to do is on your telephone, pick up the rotary phone, start dialing, and take a screenshot of you subscribe to our YouTube page and subscribe to our podcast on whatever you listen to podcasts on. So those two things, 2 photos, email it to us, gamescomicsculture@gmail.com. And after October 31st is when the contest will end. We'll randomly draw names out of the people who have picked that. Throw you a code for $20 on the PlayStation Network. So
Get on it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell everybody.
Get on it.
Yep. As always, find our show on YouTube at youtube.com/GCandC. Follow our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or directly at the website at gcandc.podiant.co. Visit our website, gamescomicsandculture.wordpress.com. And so wait on that first email, gamescomicsandculture@gmail.com.
Find us on Twitter at GCandC and individually at
Darth Nader, DARTH_N8R.
Corey
At CJ Closter, KLOSTER.
Jeff?
At SonarGod, SONARG0D.
And you can find me at Mossquatch, MOSSQUATCH. Also, we're on Instagram, up to, I think, 90 followers now.
Nice.
Games, Comics, and Culture. And you can, last but not least, join us on our Facebook group by searching for Games, Comics, and Culture. No commas.
That's right. And then, if you're feeling real froggy, we're on Discord. We have multiple channels. Discord, you can find us at GCandC. Also, if you love what we're doing, it'd be nice to, show us your love by signing up and supporting us on patreon.com//GCandC. And as always, thanks to Fred Thomas for our opening music. And Xee Reiter for her awesome logo that she designed.
Yep, appreciate it, everybody. So we're going to go full spoilers here. This week we're back to the Comic Book Club. We're going to do Bitch Planet number 10. And then next week we'll be going over the new Blade Runner movie. So the following week, which will be episode 74, our Comic Book Club will return. We'll be doing Marvel Legacy number 1. So read up on that before 2 weeks from now. All right, so if you're checking out, if you've not read Bitch Planet, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Everybody else, hang tight. We're going. All right, everybody. So full spoilers, Comic Book Club, Bitch Planet number 10, and pretty much everything leading up to it. So if you haven't read Bitch Planet through issue 10, check out. It's your last warning. We're going full spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
Warning.
Boom. So. I'll kind of kick it off, I guess, if you guys are cool with that. I picked this, just have been hearing for basically 2 years that this is a really good book and wanted to check it out. The hype around it is that, it's got a feminist bend to it or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, I thought there was surprisingly little feminist bend to it. To me, to be honest, it seemed like yes, the setting is a futuristic patriarchal society gone wrong, but other than that, the individual episodes, I don't think I'm getting a lecture or something, so to speak, on feminism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just reading through basically an action adventure, starring these characters or whatnot. And so I like that. Me and Corey have talked about it in the past. People who, whether it's video games, comics, movies, or whatnot, when they're kind of throwing their agenda front and center. I think that takes away from the whole experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as far as while we're kind of on that, the back pages of these books are full of feminist, how would I say it?
It's sarcasm also. Some of those ads.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, there's comedy stuff, but there's also I forget something that a professor would write
sort of like a dissertation,
dissertation's not the word either. I can't remember.
Article.
Yeah. So, but anyways, they go heavy into a lot of things about it, and in particular, I've tried to read them as much as I can, and in particular, I really like that they really struggled with for example, the shower scene. In one of those, I guess the issue actually didn't come out for almost a month because they scrapped it a couple times or whatnot, and so they're really thinking heavily about how they present everything, which is good. But again, I also like that it's not too heavy-handed in the story. The base plot, you know what I mean, isn't about that. So I don't know. I mean, you guys got any thoughts on the feminist bend to this thing?
I mean, I think. If you've got a message that you're trying to get across, it didn't feel like she was trying to get a message across. The story was front and center, and there are overtones, but there's nothing heavy-handed to the point that it's just a message.
Yeah.
The story locked you in, and whatever you get out of that, around it or underneath it or within it, is secondary to the story being the overriding theme. The design of the book itself was incredible, I think. Just the layouts, the visuals, that 70s sort of throwback, the ads, all that stuff was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Corey?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I like the tone of the book and everything. I don't really read the stuff at the end because it feels like behind the scenes. I don't like behind the scenes for anything. You know, I just like, I don't like this story to be explained to me or why they did something. You know, I'd like to read the story as it is, and I think it's a good story, and the the subtlety, the feminist vibe is there, and I appreciate that for what it is, and then not being pushed in your face. But obviously it's about women being oppressed and whatnot, and I like the way it's presented for sure.
Yeah.
So
cool. I mean, the best way to get me on board with any movement is to give me a good story in it, and I'll probably end up, on board with whatever. But I had some. I observed some stuff. Did you notice, throughout the book, and I know that considering where it is had a factor into it, but she made it a point to have several scenes where women are naked, but it's not sexualized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's totally a lot of presentation of nudity without the ridiculous overtones that comics,
yes,
your straight comics tend to do. I thought that was incredible. I didn't notice until I'd gotten through, I think, book 7 or 8, that I kept seeing a lot of it. And I know that, it could be because of where it's at, but they don't have to pay attention to that. I thought she was trying to make a point there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think even without the nudity, I think Jessica Jones does the same thing, to be honest.
Right.
Like, there's no, you don't get those tight butt shots ever, or even even from a profile, there's not boobs, you know what I mean,
right.
in Jessica Jones. So I appreciate that in both for sure. So anyways, well, beyond that, this friggin' story is excellent, huh? The whole,
dude.
I was really kind of threw me for a loop the last 3 issues when the revolt started happening and whatnot, right? I mean,
what issue locked me in was number 6, I think, was when it really, I feel like, turned the corner. I was already enjoying it up to that point, but number 6 was like, wow, I'm probably going to be reading this book from now on.
In general, what happens?
Gosh, I think, it's the Asian woman's father, that whole story.
Oh, yeah. Right.
The woman that's murdered in prison. And, her father and how he's involved. And he's, so it starts, it goes on with that. He's the only male
in the whole story that's rational, right?
Sympathetic to their, right,
for
their
sure.
cause. And it could be number one because...
What's that?
The one overseer guy kind of feels for him sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In the prison you're talking about. The guy with the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's in it partially because his daughter was, as we discover, was murdered. But also, he seems to be, like that from the beginning when she's younger,
His whole thing is that he was doing the Rogue One deal where he was making a design flaw to blow up one of their buildings or whatever, right? And his daughter caught him in the middle of that, and so did his boss.
Yeah. And him and his wife had the secret violin lessons that weren't actually lessons. They were class for females and whatnot. So
great storyline. Yeah, I agree with you there, Derek. That definitely took it a step deeper than just like this weird blood sport that they're trying to get the prison involved in.
I kind of dig that sport too. It seems like I like when people design games, like fictional games within stories. It's not that easy to do, and I thought that was cool. But
did you know issue 10 was such a big one? Picking number 10, or did
No,
you
it's
just
just
pick
the
Bitch
current
Planet?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that issue. This issue in particular was she took out the leader.
Yes.
Fucking killed the other guy's daughter, who you could kind of tell there was something going on with her from the dress fitting and everything.
right.
Throws around in the end, blasts the president after they free the old president. So big issue for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting, the transgender inmates meeting up with the women inmates, and that becoming instantly a battle as well.
Yeah.
And funny how the overseer guy knew it,
Yeah.
and he was talking to Miko's dad and being like, you don't want to
Careful
take
what
that
you
kid
wish
down.
for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's not a
Yeah.
good thing. And her dad was just like, I'm getting all these prisoners together to revolt, and then human nature is to fight each other,
Yeah.
and be afraid of what's different or whatever. So it seems
Right.
like
Yeah, they let the freaks out or whatever. The one is what the chick said right away.
Yep.
They're all still men, and then just started instantly taking each other out. But then the president.
The president got involved, and the fact that the star of the Blood Ball team's brother is with them, so she was kind of able to rally people around that and whatnot.
Chill them out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
I like. Yeah, that the whole. So number 10 particularly reminded me of Why the Last Man a little bit. Just not in terms of subject matter or anything, but that sense of like that the way that she delivered the cliffhanger and dropped it like a bomb.
Yeah.
It reminded that same sort of pacing that happened in the book reminded me of Why, because that's what kept me going. And Why was like, okay, so I'd get to the end of a set of stories, 6 through 10 or whatever, and something would happen in 10 where I had to read the next issue.
Right.
Yep. I mean, I think good books do that. They keep you emotionally invested, and they drop bombs on you, basically. I mean, that's sort of what happened in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll definitely be getting volume 3.
Yep, for sure. For
sure.
Shirt's on the way.
We got anything else here?
I think that's it, man. Y'all go out and get it. I couldn't recommend it enough.
So, I'm wondering just the direction it's going to go. How long this book's going to be ongoing. Because, I mean, a lot of shit seems like, I mean, are they going to lock the prison back down? And is it still going to be Bitch Planet? Are they going to go back to Earth? Like, I mean, where is they going from here? I mean, they just killed the president or whatever, released the old female president.
Right, and then they do his daughter.
So, it seems like some big shit's going on. Like, is this the finale? Like, or is what's happening? What's gonna? I'm really interested to see what happens next. Or do they? I mean, they're on a different planet, right?
Yeah.
At this point, does it actually become their planet? And they I'm really interested to keep reading to see what direction it's going.
Yep.
I love that his daughter's in on it. That's some Patty Hearst shit right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Totally. Yeah, I can't be happy enough. All the praise that made me pick this book, you know what I mean, definitely was well earned.
I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah, I'm down. Though my only complaint is that I just got too much shit to read every month nowadays. It's my time thing. This is another one now. It's like, there's no way I'm not reading number 11.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about that is, though, I think with Image books, because they take their time, and I tend to buy the novel forms, that I can rotate between stuff. So, like, Saga will be coming out next, or Lazarus will be dropping, and they sort of are paced where I'd never really run out. You know?
Sure. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I want to get caught up on Saga.
I think
me too.
I want to get Tokyo Ghost next. I've been hearing stuff about that.
I'm gonna do Saga after I read the Witcher book.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or I might want to read Lazarus.
You definitely do, man. I can't plug that. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. This has been episode 72. Comically Gaming.
Yep.
We love y'all.
Love you.
Read Marvel Legacy #1. You got 2 weeks.
Hope you enjoyed the trimmed down version.
Get that done.
Of
Yeah,
that.
trimmed down. Yeah, it's only an hour and 40 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Right.
All right.
We really restrained it back.
See y'all next week.
Later.